One day, you might see me in a whole new way. One day, but still I see that I'm the same OJ. One day, you might.
So it's not easy, but when you're feeling anger or you're feeling depressed, don't just act on it and mope or lash out. But why? Ask yourself why. What is going on here? Could there be something else going on that I'm not really thinking of? Is there something deeper going on? And you may not get to the answer. You may not uncover that thing that in your early childhood. But just in asking that question, you're going to create a little bit of space between the signal you're getting from your brain and your reaction. And that space, that time, that 10 minutes, that 1 hour that you don't react is actually what's going to make you a more rational person in the long run.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Jay Sin, coming back with another one, man. And I really wanted y'all to see that clip from Robert Greene, man. Shout out to Robert Greene, man. He's the writer of 48 Laws of Power, you know, and he always dropping gems, man. And I really wanted y'all to see that because a lot of the times, which I'm guilty of too, you know, we don't give ourselves time, you know, for things to register, you know, and a lot of times we react off top, you know, and that's something that I've started working on. I've been doing a good job of it, you know, and it takes time to get to that point to where you don't just lash out, you know, you get control of your emotions, you know, because we all know that when you have knee-jerk reactions, bro, and instead of letting things just settle down, we tend to get deeper into our emotions, and then we start saying things that we don't mean. You know, we start doing things. We may do something that we don't mean. And, you know, when you do stuff like that, you can't take it back. You know, there's people in prison because they didn't allow themselves that time to think. Instead, they just reacted. You know, they just went off of their emotions. You know what I'm saying? They went off their first thought and then they did what they did. You know, so that's something that you definitely want to work on. You know, we talk about our emotions a lot. We talk about our feelings a lot. You know, and that's just something that we could add to the list, you know, of shadow work that we need to do. Because on a daily basis, we go through things, you know what I mean? We go through tons of emotions. You know, women, you know, they have more emotions and go through more emotions than men, you know, or it could be equal. Women are emotional. They are more emotional than men, and they tend to act that out. You know, us, we go through these emotions, but we don't act out every single emotion. But you do have times to where we do lash out. We have our moments too. Don't get it twisted. As men, we still have our moments, you know, but we have to better assess those situations instead of just reacting off top. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we end up in bad situations when we do that shit. So it's important to gain control because you don't want these things getting the best of you. Like I said, when you don't have control of something, it's like next to being in slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because you a slave to that. You a slave to your emotions. You a slave to your addictions. You a slave to these things. You a slave to your cravings. You a slave to your urges because you give into that. You know, you allowing people to get you upset. You allowing people to get you angry. You allowing people to control your emotions. And like I said, that's like giving them your power, because that's what you do. They have the power. So anyway, however they feel, anytime they want to, they could say something to you that could get a reaction out of you. You know what I'm saying? So now they have the control over you. They own you. You know what I mean? And that's just not a good feeling, especially as a man. You know, but don't nobody want to feel like somebody own them. Don't nobody want to feel like a slave. But sometimes you could be a slave to your own emotions. You could be a slave to your own way of thinking, your own mind, your own addictions. You know what I'm saying? Every time you give into these things because you have no control over them. So that's why I always talk about shadow work and gaining control, getting out there and practicing these things. because we go through things on a daily basis. When you out here living this life, when you out here in the work world, when you really outside, you have to deal with different situations, different personalities, and all of that shit. But you got to know how to handle it too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like a lot of times, man, we just some shit just come over us, we click, or we used to just handling things in a certain way. But man, a lot of times that shit don't be the right way. You know what I'm saying? We just used to having certain behaviors and shit like that, man. But I'm here to tell you right now that shit is not cool. It's not cool to not have control over shit, bro. Sometimes you need that time in between to stop feeling like you a punk just because you didn't react right away to a certain situation, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know when to react right off top. You know what I mean? You know that. We have instincts, bro. Trust in your instincts. Trust in that. But not everything needs you to just lash out. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Like I said, a lot of the times, no disrespect to y'all women, but y'all women, y'all have zero control over y'all emotions because y'all emotions is like a roller coaster. A woman even made a song called Emotional Roller Coaster. You know, and y'all felt that shit. That was a hit. I forgot who made it. But a lot of times, bro, that ain't the way to go. We us men, we can't be on no emotional roller coaster. We got too much power. We got too much energy. You know what I'm saying? And we liable to do some shit that we gon' regret. You know what I'm saying? We can't be out here like these women just lashing out. You know, wanting everybody to feel our pain and feel every emotion that we go through, bro. Because that's not masculine anyways. You know what I'm saying? So you want to hold your frame. You want to have that control so you could better assess situations and make the right decision. Not just get the flapping, not just get the punching, not just get to shooting. Like I told y'all before, that's the problem with a lot of these young kids. That's why violence is up there. The violence is skyrocketing. Now, you know what I'm saying? We passed Easter weekend. There was 4 mass shootings over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? So you dealing with a lot of people right now that have zero control over their emotions. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have no way, they was never taught how to handle these things. And that's why I said, yo, this is something that I've had to learn too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm up there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to learn this shit too. I didn't live most of my life letting my emotions get the best of me. You know what I mean? Engaging in arguments and shit like that. Letting little things set me off. That's not cool. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing manly about that. If anything, that puts you in more of the feminine, you in a feminine state. So we got a lot of people that's out here in a feminine state. A lot of men, a lot of young boys that's in a feminine state that have zero control over their emotions. And then now you got just this thick energy that I always tell y'all about. It's a thick energy out there where the devil is playing off of these things. So you can't allow that shit to get to you. You can't allow these demons to enter into you, because as soon as the devil find a little crack in you, find a little crack in your character, find a little crack, you know what I'm saying, and weakness and all of that shit, the devil gonna expose you. You gonna get exploited, gonna take full advantage of you. Oop, he mad, boom, there go them demons right inside of you, and then you done did some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? You open yourself up when you do that, when you don't have control over these things. So instead, work on that so you have the master lock. You got the key to that master lock. So when you ready to handle a situation, you gonna go get your key, you gonna unlock that shit, and it's time to rock. You know what I'm saying? It's time to rock and roll. I didn't have my time to think. This motherfucker done violated. I'm gonna go handle that. And I'm not saying it's always in violence. I'm just using that as a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's something that where you got to pull somebody to the side and talk to them, whether it's just indication that you need to stay away from certain people, whether it's just a situation where, okay, now I know how my girl acting, I ain't gonna even engage with her, I'm gonna go to the other room. You have that. You know what I'm saying? That key, that's your master lock. You get to unlock that in your mind. So now you know how to handle these situations. You got the blueprint, bro. You know what I'm saying? That is real shit. That is masculine shit. But when you lashing out like a little bitch, nigga, that ain't masculine, bro. Now you acting like her. And like I always tell you, you can never out-emotion a female. So when you seeing these niggas locked up with domestics and all of that shit, cause that's all you be seeing and shit, when you see niggas locked up for shooting and all of that shit, more than likely they done did some bitch shit. You know what I mean? And they get confused over in the hood. We be thinking some of the shit be real. Oh, he shot a nigga, that was real. Oh, he did this, that was real. He did that, that was real. Well, how was it real when he was emotional? It ain't real when you a dude and you was emotional, so your emotions did that. It ain't real when you was drunk and you lashed out. Nah, that alcohol did that for you. Them pills did that for you. Nigga, like I said, you know, your feelings did that for you because you was in your feelings. Ain't nothing hard about that. Ain't nothing real about that. You get no points for that. But you get points when you still free. You know, when you still out here on the streets, when you still living your life because you took the time to think instead of react. You know what I mean? You not locked up. You ain't in nobody's cuffs. You assess that situation. You used your master lock key, went in your blueprints, and you said, fuck that, I'm leaving that bitch. I'm done with it because I ain't trying to get locked up. I got things to do. I'm on my purpose. I'm on my grind. I'm reserving my energy. So I ain't letting nobody interfere with what I got going. That's real. That's real. Not being incarcerated with a bunch of killers and a bunch of kids and a bunch of knuckleheads, nigga. When you had everything going for yourself out here, bro, you gotta understand that shit. Understand what Robert Greene is saying. Allow yourself that time, please. It's that simple. Just allow yourself that time to think. Don't think about what nobody else doing. Don't think about what nobody else saw. Don't think about nothing that nobody else is seeing on this social media shit, because there's too many people dying behind that shit. There's too many people dying behind this he say, she say shit every day. Okay? So don't be a part of that, bro. We got a lot of things to do in this life. Don't lose it to nonsense. All right? And that's my word, man. My name is Jason, the Sinn-Take. Holla at y'all later, man. Peace.
Hustle hard, yeah, that's all day. I'ma keep putting in work, yeah, that's all day. I'm in here to do my job, yeah, that's all day. What I do ain't a facade, this is all J. Hustle hard, yeah, that's all day. I'ma keep putting in work, yeah, that's all day. I'm in here to